there was a delay in getting you the information on posture, sequence of motion, and the downswing path test because it's so comprehensive. So I sent that out yesterday. Please take a look at it. You'll notice it's broken into 5 videos. That one Zoom session, I created 5 videos. So you can use, if you choose, if your student is upper core, there's an upper core video on showing sequencing of motion as part of that Zoom session. I would encourage, or mid-core or lower core, they're all there. All 3 are there. What I would encourage you to do, because your students are going to retain about 15 to 20% of your lesson content. So either video them doing the sequencing, posture and sequencing, or video yourself and pass that on, or use those that I produce for you. So, but today, as I said, we're going to have we have questions, and we'll start with those. When I finish, we have 4 questions. When I finish, we'll have questions and discussion from you. So my student asked, what causes early extension, posturing up? I have always taught stay in posture. So if you look at the core zones, the only player who is probable to stay in posture is your lower core. And the answer to by the way, the answer to that question, as it is to many of these, is balance. So no matter where you are, if you stand up now, you can demonstrate this to your students. If you stand up and just add, I'm in mid-core right now. I've done all 15 as I did the last time, all 15 subregions, which means I can move freely simply by doing right balance express in 1. So I'm in mid-core. So I'm going to add posture here. And I'm going to turn back and turn through, and I don't feel any need to rise. I'm on black 3. However, if I were to move purposely, and I want you to do this now, get in your posture and then move to the balls of your feet purposely. So we can keep everything as clean as possible here. You'll notice my hips are still square. So if I rotate everything back together, stay out on the balls of the feet, and I turn back, because of my balance, I'm going to rise. So you'll find some mid-core players will use the ground vertically. All we're looking at is vertical ground force. The players who use the vertical ground force are your upper core players. And many of your mid-core will as well. Take a good look at Justin Thomas, Cameron Chang. They both use the ground in all 3 ground forces. They use it in a linear fashion, rotational, and vertical. Your upper core player uses the ground primarily rotationally and vertically. So I'll tell you what, let me go to an upper core position here. I'm going to go to red 1, which is going to put me well forward. As I said, I've already done all 15. All I need to do is 1. Okay. So now, if I was mid-core a moment ago, if I had my mid-core posture after having done red 1, you can see my hips open immediately. Ideally, you're able to see that on camera. There's my posture. So for an upper core player, I have a narrow stance, bend from the lock out my knees, look straight ahead, add knee flex, and you can see that I am very square. So if to start my swing, sequence of motion for the upper core is that trail hip is going to start back. And as I turn back through, my hips are stalling. And I am definitely going to rise from this position. That's how I'm going to get my hips through. So if I were to do this in low core, my weight will be back over the center of my arches. And I have no issue rotating through. Let me show you that. So if I go out to blue 4, which is going to put me well back. Okay, now when you go through the express, the longer you take to do each one of those, the longer it'll last. So just to get through this. Now, for a lower core player, I want a very wide base. I want a wide base because it restricts the rotation of my hips naturally. So if I have a narrow base, everything wants to go together. As I get wider, and for low core, I'll show you this down the line in a moment. I want to sit down first, then add spine angle, start back with my shoulders. And as I rotate, I can tell you right now, my balance is over the center of my arches. So it's very easy for me to rotate through. I'm not going to posture up from that low core position. And in fact, staying in posture is likely going to be something that will work well for that lower core player.